This year for Riga, as well as other cities in the world and Europe, has not been easy. Riga is a city where people love culture, events, the opportunity to communicate and create art. After the first wave of COVID-19 began summer, and Riga started to come to life. Many events took place thanks to neighborhood associations and Riga's cooperation partners, whose previous experience allowed them to quickly adapt to unusual conditions and regulations.
4 years we're already working in Riga city neighborhoods with the culture spaces, what calls hives, and it's such an amazing feeling to collaborate with exact neighborhoods inhabitants. Because you can see how this idea works. We were so happy in this year that Riga City Council allowed us to organize culture events. Of course, it was a bit different. We started our culture program only in July, before we started on June. But because of these restrictions, June was closed still, but on July we slowly started to think how we can continue this idea to bring the culture to neighborhoods. Our aim was just to follow the restrictions what Riga City Council announced in our country, and we successfully did this. And I can tell you also that the people were very good in that case too. They collaborate with us because they understood if they will behave in terms of these restrictions, then the culture program will continue.
As our experience shows, Riga City is rich with history of different kind of events in neighborhoods, and all kind of concerts, poetry readings and so on is happening not only in the city center but also everywhere in the city, from one border to another. We're looking forward to develop the idea of organizing events in a neighborhood for the future.
Project Free Riga was launched in 2013, within which several Riga premises and buildings were opened for cultural and social events. During last 7 years, many activities have taken place in Riga city neighborhoods, and currently work is underway to create a completely new cultural space.
The experience of Tallinn Street Quarter gave us actually belief that the city center is not the only place where to organize culture events and different lectures, studies, and etc. And so we have moved even farther away from the city center, and now this is a new project here in the state property, where we are renting this huge building, a former faculty of Technical University, for the next 25 years, and we want to create this as a space for many activities, who provides also culture and different social activities. There will be not only artist studios, architects design studios, laboratories, but also culture programs like concerts, theater performances, also lectures and lessons for the neighborhood inhabitants here in Kultūras, in Jūgla, Teika and Meža parks, the surrounding neighborhoods.
Very close to the city center is located creative quarter Lastādija. It is the oldest named neighborhood of Riga. Until the 19th century, it was an active, multicultural and growing suburb of traders.
Lastādija is a social reactor which operates because of human communication with each other. Of course, lockdown took this function away from us for some time. But fortunately in Latvia the situation was not as critical. That's why in the beginning of summer, in the early spring, we started to adapt to new rules, and I must say that some very warm public events did happen in Lastādija this season. When I think about Lastādija, I feel that we are in the very beginning of a breathtaking path of cultural transformation where active citizens induce creative social activities in every suburb.